सारी चीजें यहाँ सदन में आकर थोपे। भारत के विदेश मंत्री पर भरोसा नहीं करोगे? ओथ लिया हुआ व्यक्ति यहाँ पर बोल रहा है, ही इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, इसीलिए ये वहां बैठे हैं और 20 साल तक वहीं बैठने वाले।
The leader of opposition decided to get a briefing from whom? Not from the government, not from the MA, from the Chinese ambassador. He took his briefing from the Chinese ambassador when our military was confronting the Chinese military in Doklam. Yes, I went to China. I went to China to make our position very clear about de-escalation, about trade restrictions and about terrorism. I did not go to China for the Olympics. I did not go to China for secret agreements. I did not go, Sir, the House should know that people were watching Olympics when China was issuing stapled visas for people from Arunachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. This is the reality of China. The first step which was taken was that a meeting of the Cabinet Committee of Security took place on the 23rd of April. And that meeting decided that one, the Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 will be held in abeyance with immediate effect until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism. Two, the integrated checkpost Atari would be closed with immediate effect. Three, Pakistani nationals who are travelling under SARC visa exemption scheme will no longer be allowed to do that. Four, the defence, naval and air advisors of the Pakistani High Commission would be declared persona non grata. And five, the overall strength of the High Commission would be brought down to 30 from the number of 55. It was very clear, Honourable Speaker, sir, that after this first set of steps approved by the Cabinet Committee on Security, that India's response to the Pahalgam attack will not stop there. Our task, from a diplomatic perspective, from a foreign policy approach, was to shape the global understanding of the Pahalgam attack. What we tried to do was to bring out to the international community Pakistan's long-standing use of cross-border terrorism. We highlighted the history of terrorism in Pakistan and how this particular attack was meant to target the economy of Jammu and Kashmir and to sow communal discord among the people of India. Our messages were two. One, zero tolerance of terrorism, and two, the right to defend our people against terrorism. I highlight this, Speaker, sir, because this statement of the UN Security Council resonated throughout the international community. So when many honourable members asked today, where was the world on Pahalgam? I think the answer is there. The answer is there in a Security Council statement which says hold them accountable, bring them to justice, and that is exactly what we did through Operation Sindhu. When the Security Council was debating this on the 25th of April, and TRF had twice claimed responsibility for the Pahalgam attack, Pakistan defended the TRF. Pakistan tried to get any mention of TRF excluded, and in fact the Pakistani foreign minister told his parliament that this is a great diplomatic achievement. Now, I mention it because today, again, thanks to our diplomacy, the TRF has been designated as a global terrorist organization by the US government, and the same Pakistani foreign minister who took so much pride saying, I defended the TRF, says, well, now if the US has done this, we accept it. Honourable Speaker, sir, there are 193 nations of the members of the United Nations. 193. Only 3, apart from Pakistan, opposed Operation Sindhu. Only 3. If you look through this period, and I would be very happy to share with the House the exact positions of various governments, Overwhelmingly, there was recognition that terrorism is unacceptable, that a country which has been attacked has a right to defend itself, and that India was doing exactly that. Today, when I hear many questions from across the aisle, I want to say, which one of you imagined that Bhavalpur and Muridke would be brought down the way it was? Which one of you thought? When did you even think of it during your tenure? Did it even cross your mind? In fact, on the contrary, you ruled it out after 26/11. So, I think our objectives are very clear. We wanted to send a message to the terrorists. We wanted to send a message to Pakistan that do not continue this support for terrorism. And I think on the morning of 7th of May, that message went home loud and clear. Now, I would like members of this House to understand, if India is attacked, if there is a terrorist attack on India, and a country says we condemn cross-border terrorism, I think it is obvious to everybody what that cross-border terrorism is. So, I then move on, sir, to the Central Asia. The Central Asian countries opposed providing safe haven using terrorist proxies for cross-border terrorism, for terror financing. Now, I can cite statements from the Indian Ocean Rim Association, from individual countries, range of them. President Putin, for example, has said, he wrote to our president and said, this brutal crime has no justification whatsoever, and its perpetrators will face a deserved punishment. And when people ask today, how successful is your foreign policy? Where is your diplomacy? I want to say that Tahawur Rana, which many of you tried for so long to get, is finally here because of us. I want to say TRF was designated not because somebody out there made a remark. TRF was designated as a global terrorist organization because our diplomacy persuaded another country to do that. Our position was, if Pakistan was ready, we needed to get this as a request from the Pakistani side through the DGMO channel. That is exactly how that request came. Now, I want to make two things very clear, sir. One, at no stage in any conversation with the United States was there any linkage with trade and what was going on. Secondly, there was, please listen. Secondly, there was no call between the Prime Minister and President Trump from the 22nd of April, when President Trump called up to convey his sympathy, and the 17th of June, when he called up Prime Minister in Canada to explain why he could not meet. So I would again, मैं इसको दोहराता हूँ, 22 अप्रैल से 17 जून तक।
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मेरी एक बात की आपत्ति है, भारत देश का शपथ लिया हुआ विदेश मंत्री यहाँ स्टेटमेंट कर रहा है, उस पर भरोसा नहीं है, उनको किसी और देश पर भरोसा है। मैं समझ सकता हूं उनकी पार्टी में विदेश का महत्व क्या है, मगर इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है पार्टी की सारी चीजें यहाँ सदन में आकर थोपे। भारत के विदेश मंत्री पर भरोसा नहीं करोगे? ओथ लिया हुआ व्यक्ति यहाँ पर बोल रहा है, ही इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, इसीलिए ये वहां बैठे हैं और 20 साल तक वहीं बैठने वाले हैं।
Honorable Speaker, sir, in the course of the debate today, some points were made by members of the opposition. I would like to respond to some of them. We were asked, why did you stop at this time? Why did you not go further? Please see who's asking this question. This question is being asked by people who after 26/11 felt that the best action was inaction. Now I would like sir to read out, because one member said, nowadays BJP members like reading from books. You get the truth in books. Sometimes you don't like what we read in books. So let me read out, sir, two excerpts from a book by the National Security Advisor of the UPA government. After 2611, a chapter, this is a book called Choices. He says, on sober reflection and in hindsight, I now believe the decision not to retaliate militarily but to concentrate on diplomatic, covert and other means was the right one for that time and place. This is what he says. But did he even do that? Because 2611 happened in November of 2008. What was the reaction? The reaction was Sharm el-Sheikh. Was that diplomatic? Was it covert? Was it military? Now what did Sharm el-Sheikh do? In Sharm el-Sheikh, the then government and the Pakistani Prime Minister agreed terrorism is a main threat to both countries. Now, today, sir, people are saying, America is hyphenating you, Russia is hyphenating you. That is what I heard Deepinder Hudaji say. Hello, you are hyphenating yourself. I mean, you did not need a foreign country to say, please link India to Pakistan. Your own government was saying, India and terrorism is a main threat to both countries. And then they said, terrorism should not be linked to the composite dialogue. And worst of all, they accepted a reference to Baluchistan in that. Now, here is a country reeling after 2611. And you are equating Baluchistan and 2611, what happened in Mumbai? And you are saying that the perpetrator and the victim have both got a problem. And then now you are asking me, why didn't you go further? People who did nothing are asking a government which did so much, saying, why didn't you do more? During the Modi government, from 2018 to 2022, 1,576 days, Pakistan was in the grey list. Yes, they were in the grey list earlier also. I am not denying that. It was for a shorter period. But I again want the House to appreciate that the FATF meeting in May 2025 has kept Pakistan in the enhanced follow-up category, recognizing that the compliance of Pakistan is only partial. Now, sir, so much for Pakistan. Some members also raised issues pertaining to China. So I would like to spend a few minutes on that. So I would first like the House to appreciate, because today we are getting these lectures saying China is a great danger, China, Pakistan are together, we are warning you. So what does the Congress party really think about China? Don't go by what they say. Let us see what they did. In 2005, China was designated as a strategic partner during Prime Minister Wen Jiabao's visit to India. Strategic partner. And there is a concept, very famous concept called Chindia, sir, a belief that China and India have common interest, and the main proponent of Chindia is the party spokesman of the people opposite. Now, some mention was made about visits, including my visit. Yes, I went to China. I went to China to make our position very clear about de-escalation, about trade restrictions, and about terrorism. I did not go to China for the Olympics. I did not go to China for secret agreements. I did not go. Sir, the House should know that people were watching Olympics when China was issuing stapled visas for people from Arunachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. This is the reality of China. Now, let me really tell you, sir, how is the relationship with China. Some years ago,
विदेश मंत्री जी को संरक्षण देना चाहिए. उनके स्पीकर जब बोल रहे थे, हम पूरे धैर्य से सुने. मैं बताऊंगा कितनी असत्य बातें बोली गई कल, परंतु फिर भी असत्य को भी हम हलाहल समझकर पी गए. अब ये सत्य भी नहीं सुन पाते हैं. माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, मुझे लगता है आपको प्रोटेक्शन देना चाहिए. बैठे बैठे टोका टोकी करना सबको आता है, ऐसा नहीं है हमें नहीं आता, मगर इतने गंभीर विषय पर चर्चा जब हो रही है तो सरकार के प्रमुख विभाग के मंत्री को बोलते हुए बैठे बैठे टोकना ये विपक्ष को शोभा देता है क्या? मान्यवर, आपने बिल्कुल उनको आग्रह से कहना चाहिए, वरना हम भी हमारे मेंबर को बाद में समझा नहीं पाएंगे।
Sir, we heard today a lot about what was supposed to be the thinking.
बैठे बैठे, आपको इजाजत नहीं, बैठे बैठे।
Sir, we heard about warnings about China, cautions about China, China is planning this, China is planning that. But sir, I want to remind this House, Doklam crisis was on. The leader of opposition decided to get a briefing from whom? Not from the government, not from the emir, from the Chinese ambassador. He took his briefing from the Chinese ambassador when our military was confronting the Chinese military in Doklam. So I want to say that I want to say, and this is the political thinking. Let me, sir, give you the economic thinking. In 2006, the
माननीय
UPA
सदस्य
government.
प्लीज बैठे बैठे टिप्पणी मत कीजिए, आप बहुत कर रहे हो, नहीं गलत है, बैठिए बैठे बैठे टिप्पणी मत कीजिए।
Sir, in 2006, because I want to illustrate my points with facts. I spoke about political facts, I spoke about border facts. Let me give you an economic fact. What is the economic thinking of the Congress party about China? In 2006, the Congress party agreed to do a regional trading arrangement with China. It was finalized during the visit of President Hu Jintao. A task force was appointed. The task force gave a positive recommendation. Through the efforts of various people, this did not happen. Let me give you the technology side. The very people today who are cautioning us on China are the people who allowed 3G and 4G to come from China. It is this government which made sure there was a made in India 5G.